Okay, back with part 2 for my expanding the Behringer 2600 videos. In the first video, I picked 5 modules. If you missed it, they were the Disting, the Victor, the Abacus, the Brains, and the Surges. In this video, I'm going to explain a little bit more why I picked these modules and show another example patch of the 2600 being used with these 5 modules. When I picked these modules, I wanted them to be able to be their own voice separate to the 2600, because in my experience, expanding the 2600 quickly turns into using the 2600 to expand your Eurorack. So it's maybe good if the modules that you get first can be used by themselves alongside the 2600. So you can think of it like you have 2 modular systems, one the 2600 and one the Eurorack. So here I'm using them together. We can just hear the patch. This is a drone. I have the Brains in chord mode. And there's an LFO affecting the Brains. And then there's 3 2600 oscillators. So that's just the Brains going through the surges. And then the second output of the Brains is going right to the 2600 filter. The Victor, I have as low as it can go with the frequency, so it's acting as an LFO. To get the Victor this low, you need to send it a negative DC source, so I'm using the Abacus channel 2 to pitch the Victor down. Can go quite slow. And then I have the joystick patched to the Victor itself, so when I move the stick, the LFOs change speed. The Abacus is just acting as LFOs. And I didn't need the disting for this patch, so I set it up as a frequency shifter to use on a split from the VCA and send to its own outputs. I'm just using this DC source to pitch the 3 2600 oscillators so I can change their chord. And then I have a bit of feedback going on. can use noise instead of feedback. The phase shifter will like that, or frequency shifter. So I'm using the other Abacus channel just to mod the frequency shifter. And then the 2600 sample and hold is modding the speed of the Abacus LFO. So some of you might have thought with the Victor, like, why pick a digital oscillator? The 2600 is analog. It should go with analog modules. But the Victor is a really good LFO. It has an internal mod envelope, which I'm running right now. I can turn it off. So this is just the surges modded from the Victor. So I have square in the top and saw on the side, and then a couple like sine type waveforms in the other corners. So here it'll stay on square, but if I send a voltage to the trigger input, in this case just a DC source, the envelope will start looping. So it's a nice modulation source. Frequency shifter made sense on the disting for me for this one, but there's so many other things could have done with it. It could have ran just as a wavetable oscillator or something and took the sample and hold for another little additional sound to go with this drone. So I hope you enjoyed the patch. Thanks for watching.